It would be a patrolled area with one entrance and one exit that, you know, we can kind of monitor the actual leaving and allowing people to walk around with open containers in the public facility. Those larger type events would be on the 5 acres, not on the park proper areas. But that is one reason why I'm putting this in. I did make several changes, which is why you got a new one, because the mayor did bring it to my attention. Typically, 18-year-olds are able to sign contracts. However, if they're signing a contract wanting to have an event with alcohol, it's not very likely I want an 18-year-old signing it, since they're not legal to drink. So if you are trying to sign up for an event with alcohol, you must be 21 years or older in order to even book that event. So that's one of the things I changed on there. Also the cancellation fee, apparently that was muddled for some people, so I changed it up. And this is typical in most places that rent facilities. If you cancel your reservation more than 48 hours prior to that event date, then you can get your refund back. If you cancel less than 48 hours prior to that date, there will be no refund on your fee or your deposit. That gives us 2 days, which we usually have a waiting list of people wanting to get in. That gives us 2 days to rebook, and that's typically not a problem. And then I just bolded the areas which actually involve the alcohol. Rules and regulations D and E, those are the ones that actually outline more of the alcohol. These others are also, you know, this is a policy for renting the facility, not just to have alcohol in the facilities. So this also gives them, you know, now no glass containers are allowed in the park. You know, what they're supposed to do with the keys and the checklist for cleaning once they leave, if it's after hours, if it's during hours. It talks about what your responsibility is. It also discussed, I also added in with this section, in the stuff I handed you later, this right here is the actual application that they fill out to rent any of our meeting hall facilities. Johnny, this is where it states that if there are any damages to the property, on the very bottom of the first page, that Oakdale has the right to charge those damages to the renter on their credit card that they put down as for their deposit. And they have to sign this, and we keep copies of this in our office, so they know that they have signed it. As far as alcohol, if it is a major event such as a wine festival or a barbecue cook-off or something, this is just a sample of what the city of Crowley and other cities tend to do when you have a special event. This is a special events application. They used it for parades, festivals, all kinds of stuff like that. But this would be filled out and actually turned over to the city council to approve, to make amendments, to or deny it. So this is something that we could come up with if you're interested in doing a special event permit for a much larger type of other thing, other than like the bluegrass festivals and stuff we have. If we start to have stuff out in the 5 acres, this would be a way that y'all would be able to see what it is. And if you want to restrict certain things, or if you want to put certain conditions on it, certain items we charged a fee. You know, in Crowley, the council could set that fee, or, you know, a wine festival fee, depending on how many people are going to be there and how much police activity we might need, or security, or whatever. So this gives y'all a little bit more handle on larger activities that we might have out there. So I just wanted to give y'all that to be able to look at and see if that's something you're interested in doing. Other than that, that's all I have on that particular item.
I know a concern I have is if somebody does slip out, they're drunk, they have a wreck, or somebody's killed, God forbid, what's liability are we looking at?
Well, as long as we're not serving the alcohol, zero.
Right. Okay.
And of course, it's going to be in the rental agreements as well, that the city assumes no liability. So liability is not a concern at this point.
Okay. Any comment from council? Yes, Councilman Jones.
You're talking about the new 5 acres being the place for this, whether either wine fest or barbecues.
Some of the larger things that we don't have.
Would it be expected that people that are going to the barbecue place, are they going to have staying in the park and carrying coolers over to the place? Are we talking about open containers or alcohol in general?
Most of the time, and the hope is if you have like a barbecue cook-off, that those people would come out there and stay in their RVs or rent the cabins that are actually participating in the cook-off.
Do we need to clarify that as far as no alcohol or no
Well,
open
that would be
containers?
where you would clarify it on this particular special events.
Well, I'm saying
Yes.
no open containers, because if you're staying in your RV and you're gonna go over to the barbecue.
Right,
place,
you
you're
can't
taking-
walk out your RV and carry your beer or your glass of wine over there.
Can you
If
carry a
it's in a
cooler?
cooler and it's all closed in the cooler,
Yeah.
you know, but you cannot walk around with it. And you know, because that's what the,
Technically, the way we have Oakdale Park set up, they're not supposed to be drinking inside the traditional park anyway.
not in the public areas.
They could go inside their,
If they're in their cabin or in their RV and they want to sit out in front of their cabin or RV, yes, they can. They cannot take a step out of their little yard in front of their camper or in a cabin and walk across the road to the stage area with their drink. No,
okay.
that is not allowed. And I have stopped people who would go and sit at the picnic table and pull out their Jack Daniels and set it on the table. You know, no, you can't do that. This area is the public area.
Any other questions from council? Okay, go to the audience at this time. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to come and comment on item number 10? Discuss and consider approval of the rental policy for Oakdale Park. Please state your name and your address, sir.
Aaron Mills, 1379 County Road 1007. My question, when we say alcohol, a lot of times beer and wine is pretty subtle. Are you also talking about letting people bring hard liquor as well?
Well, most people, you know, out there, if it's alcohol, it would be hard liquor. But that would be something that if we have a special events permit, we can limit it to, you know, we can say, we don't allow hard liquor. You know, you can have beer and wine, you know, but we don't allow hard liquor. Some people want to bring in a margarita machine, you know, the frozen margaritas in the summertime, you know, for their week-long family reunion, you know.
That's all I have.
I'll ask you, why was your question?
Well, I just, you know, beer and wine's a little more subtle. We serve that at our golf course, and you know, they're probably less likely to get crazy and tear something up, or
Right.
We sell hard liquor at the golf course, didn't we?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't play golf.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
I'm sorry. I've heard